can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. As always, that's Matt behind the camera. I'm Ben, that makes this stuff they don't want you to know. And today we are literally underground. True story, our old studio has been destroyed. Agent Scully is fine, but everything else is in a state of flux. We are still going to be doing updates every week. We're still putting out 4 episodes a week. And we're still doing listener mail. Did you write to us? Did you tweet to us? Did you comment on our YouTube channel? Hopefully you did. Today, let's tackle some email. Here we go. We have one from Casper P. Casper writes to us and says he wants to hear more about this old theory that humans on Earth are descendants of a lost and or former space colony. He did write a book based on this theory called Ages Past. If you do an episode on this idea, says Casper, you do not have to mention Ages Past. I don't want to appear as if I'm pimping a novel. I think the idea of Earth as a former colony of some sort would make an interesting episode for stuff they don't want you to know. Well, first, Casper, thank you for writing to us, and we will give you a shout out for your book right now, Ages Past, on Amazon. I have not read it yet, but I will check it out. There's this theory that's similar to this called panspermia. I'll wait, I would giggle too. It's a ridiculous name. It's a ridiculous name. Okay, sure. But it also might be a real thing. It's the idea that life on Earth somehow came from a meteor or maybe a comet or somehow from another planet. And this would be like bacteria. Very, very low-level organisms that ultimately spread life to this planet. I'm gonna say it again just because it's a silly name, panspermia. Bad name, great idea. Next up, Austin S. Austin, you said you guys should do a video on the 1941 Henry Ford hemp automobile, and you included a YouTube link. Matt, we can pop that up maybe? Okay. And we wanted to see if the rest of the audience out there, how are you guys feeling about this, ladies and gentlemen? Would you be interested in hearing some more automotive-related conspiracies? Rob L. wrote to us and says, Dear Matt, Ben, and Agent Scully, who is fine, by the way. I feel weird saying alive, because she's a plastic skeleton, but she's extant. It's cool, we'll bring her back soon. Anyhow, Rob says, I did have a suggestion or a few topics you guys might want to cover. I'd like to see an episode that covers some of the conspiracies going on about Aurora, Colorado, the reasoning, and some of the other murky issues surrounding our involvement with Syria's civil war. And I'd like to see an in-depth episode about the death of Michael Hastings, including stuff that came out later, like his toxicology report and whatnot. Now, these are great ideas. We've covered some parts of this. We have covered Michael Hastings. We should probably dig back into that and see what more information has emerged. And one last thing, Rob, you did ask for us to give a shout out to you and your mother. You specifically said, shout out to my mother Terry and her son Robert, which I think is you. I'm imagining it's you. Anyway, shout out. Thank you for watching. If you would like a shout out, feel free to write to us via either Twitter or Facebook or our email address, conspiracy@discovery.com. Heck, write to our bosses and tell them to give us a new studio. Couldn't hurt. I mean, we might get fired, but we've been that way for years, right? All right, so this is the very last one. We have an email from Frederick K, and Frederick K says, I'd like to suggest an episode on current world events. I'm very intrigued by the sudden urgency of solving all litigious matters between the United States and Iran. If that actually happens, it could have profound effects in the world, and Iran seemed to have been gearing up toward being likable to Western powers for a short while before this surprising announcement. Now, of course, what Frederick is talking about, and that's a great thing to end on, what Frederick is talking about is the new efforts by the newest Iranian president to become a little bit more friendly with the West. Now, of course, anybody who knows the history of the relationship between the United States and Iran, and a lot of Western Europe as well, it's been incredibly contentious. The United States did overthrow the government of Iran, which is kind of a party foul as country hangouts go. So we are also interested in seeing this. Iran is one of those countries that has constantly been advertised in the media as this close to making a nuclear bomb. This close, 2002, 2008, there have been sayings that they'll have a bomb in a year. They'll have a bomb in 2 years. Now, to the best of our knowledge, Iran has not yet created a nuclear weapon, but there's so much more to the story. Matt and I would love to cover some of the history between the United States, Iran, or maybe the contentious relationship that Iran has with not just Israel, which people would expect, not just the United States, which people would expect, but also with other countries such as Saudi Arabia and Iraq. And we're going to end on that note today. Matt and I are off to try to find a permanent studio so we don't have to live in the underground, at least not yet, I hope. We haven't made a video that's gotten us in that much trouble. So thank you for watching, stay tuned, and be sure to check out our series starting next week on, wait for it, human experimentation. It's gonna get messy, guys. Stay tuned.